Okay, hi guys. So in this lecture we'll be seeing um hydrolysis reactions in the presence of acidic medium of um, some groups like some functional groups like nitrile, C double bond, and things like that. Okay, so let me start with the first example. So we have something like our C double bond and we actually in the presence of H3O plus we get something like carboxylic acid. So we have to write the mechanism for this reaction as to how does this happen. So in the first step what happens is we have something like this, and in the presence of H plus what happens is nitrogen gives his lone pair to it, and we have something like formation of N plus H, and then nitrogen withdraws its lone pair double bond with the carbon atom, because C plus would be more stable than obviously N plus, because C is less electronegative than N. This is the electronegativity order. Okay, because as we go across the group, across the period, um, electronegativity of the compound or the elements increases. Okay, so this is the same reason we have got this compound. Now let what happens in the next step is we have H2O molecule, and the O will get a positive charge on itself, but it will contribute electron in the empty carbon orbital, and we get something like this. And again with a minus H plus, or oxygen again withdraws its bond electrons from the hydrogen atom, so we get something like this and NH. Again we are in acidic medium. What will happen is again nitrogen will donate its lone pair to H plus, and we'll get something like again C plus and double bond N plus H. Okay, in the next step what will happen is not C plus, till now we get this. Now what happens is this is NH2 because it has donated, this is accepted this H plus. Now what happens is again this nitrogen atom withdraws its bond electrons from the neighboring carbon atom. We'll get something like this. Again H2 molecule will actually attack on this carbocation, just like SN2 reaction, SN1 reaction, I beg your pardon, and one H plus would be removed from this oxygen atom. Will get 2OH and again NH2 here. Okay, in the next step what will happen is again we'll get a H plus, nitrogen atom would be attacking on this, the bond will be breaking, and we'll get a double bond or a positive charge on this carbon atom, forming a carbocation. We have 2OH here. Again in the presence of water molecule we get something like 3OH on one carbon atom. Are they stable in acidic medium? No. What will again happen is this lone pair would be used to attack this H plus, and we'll get something like this, in which we get 2OH and O plus H here. Now what will happen is this oxygen atom will take away back its electrons, and we'll get something like a positive charge here and OH here. Okay, now in the first step, as it took H plus, again this oxygen atom will form a double bond with this and releasing this H plus. Okay, so again it will regenerate H plus again into the reaction. So this is the product or carboxylic acid which is formed after the acid catalyzed hydrolysis of nitrile group. Okay, this was the reactant or substrate rather, reactant H3O catalyzed, and we get this as product. So please remember this is an important reaction. Okay, now let's do an example on this. So suppose we have RCH and we are getting a double bond NH also, and we are hydrolyzing this in presence of in acidic medium. So what will happen is again this nitrogen will acquire hydrogen atom, so we'll get a positive charge here, Okay, and OH will come in rescue for this positively charged carbocation, just like in SN1 mechanism. So we will have something like this. When nitrogen acquires the first hydrogen, now again nitrogen acquires the second hydrogen, being a good nucleophile. So again we'll get a positive charge here. It will withdraw its valence bonding electron from carbon atom, will get 2 OH on the neighboring carbon atom, and NH3 would be released. And again this, from this, in acidic medium, water molecule will be released from this compound, forming a aldehyde. Okay, so what we actually observed, that if we have something like this and a double bond like this with the nitrogen group, the C has a double bond with this nitrogen group, and in acidic medium what actually happens is we get 2 OH here and 2 H here. So finally we get something like RCH and OH, out of which again hydrolysis happens in acidic medium, dehydration happens in acidic medium, and NH3 would be released as a side product. So after the dehydration we'll get something like this. Okay, so just remember that you break this bond, and on each side, on the left hand side you place OH, and on the right hand side you place H. Okay, so this is the short trick in which you don't have to remember the or write the mechanism again and again. We'll just see this last example for things to get more clearer. We have a lone pair here on the nitrogen atom, and we are again passing this in acidic medium, and we are hydrolyzing this compound. So what would happen is, again H plus would be taken by the lone pairs of nitrogen atom, so that they would be attacking rather the hydrogen or H plus cation. So we would get something like this, and plus R. Again it would be revoking its or recouping its electron along with the carbon's electron, making the carbon an unfilled orbital with an R and H obviously here. Okay, so now what will happen is, from the water molecule will come in rescue with the on the positively charged carbocation. So OH plus H plus would be released again or recouped back into the reaction, because this H plus was used, so here H plus was regenerated in the reaction, and we have an HR here. Again we have the acidic medium, so again H plus would be used or would be attacked by the lone pairs of nitrogen atom. So we'll get something like this, and plus H2R. Again this bond would be withdrawn again by nitrogen atom, or the lone pairs of carbon, or the bond pairs of the bond would be taken by the nitrogen atom, as it is more electronegative. So we'll be left with something like this, and again NH2R, sorry. So on this, again water molecule will, oxygen atom from the water molecule will donate its lone pair to this positively charged carbon atom, and we get something like O plus H and H. This H will again be regenerated in the reaction, and the acid catalyzed reaction again get its H plus recouped into the reaction. We would get something like this, and in presence of acidic medium again dehydration of this alcohol take place, and we get something like a ketone. Okay, so if we have to summarize this, we can say that the original compound was something like this, double bond N R. Okay, and we actually did a hydrolysis in acidic medium. Again what will happen is, take 2 OH here and HH here, so we'll get something like this, 2 OH on the same carbon which is unstable in acidic medium, and we'll get NH2R here. This will finally convert into RC double bond OR because of dehydration taking place in this compound. So finally this would be the final product. Okay, so with this we come to an end of this lecture. In the next lecture we will be seeing more such examples. Till then, good luck and goodbye.